What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome to another video. So today we're going to be unboxing PCS Jade 1/3. However, just wanted to quickly update you guys. I did put fake glass here, more or less. I got an old acrylic, stand, and I just broke it, like a little one I wasn't using, because it's the exact same thickness as the window and it works perfect. I also took the tape out so you guys can, see that. Anyways, I just saw Scream 6, 10 out of 10. Freaking loved it. Amazing movies. Multiple moments in the movie where I just like, dang, that was sick. Really enjoyed it. Also, Tiffany, I got her a cigarette and lighter. So there is the cigarette. It's like a fake cigarette that looks like it's lit. And there is a lighter that she's holding, and I turned her head a little bit so she's like kind of looking at the cigarette. That's the scene I want to go for with Tiff. When she's like, eat your heart out to Chucky when she first, became this. I think that's the best look. You could also do her with a gun, like her and Chucky both had a gun, but I like that. I'll do Chucky with a gun though. Anyways, here is Jade 1/3. It's a typical 1/3 like MK box. Not super big. It's kind of tall, but it is thin. So we're going to go ahead and unbox her. And for right now, we'll, put her here so you can see her like in a size comparison next to these, especially since all this is PCS. And then, of course, we'll move her into the MK room, see how she fits in the MK line. Because the MK line is more or less dead, the only other MK statues that are going to be made is Katana 1/3, which I don't need. I have Katana. And I'm not getting Melina because I have Melina. I'm very happy with both of those. Can I one-hand this? No. But there's the Noob Saibot, but it's from MK11, which I really didn't like. And I do love Noob Saibot, but I don't have space. So he's going to be a pass, unfortunately. But let's go ahead and unbox Jade, see how she is. Based off some few reviews I saw, I thought she looked great. But we'll see, how she compares to the older MK 1/3, if there's been any, like, improvements or whatnot. But excited to open her up. Shout out to Secret Compass for getting this for me. She had basically just waitlisted. He had one available and a great price. So I'll leave a link in the description below. You guys can purchase stuff from him. Anyways, let's open up Jade. Alrighty, so here is the art box. As you can see, it has, a picture of Jade on both sides. Mortal Kombat on both sides. Now, PCS did do straps, which is really nice because I hate using tape. And it even has the nice PCS logo and a logo engraved into the actual styrofoam. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. So I do plan to display her with the Unmasked portrait, just so you're aware. Here she is. So far, so good. Definitely a way more correct skin tone than the 1/4 Jade, which was not dark enough. They made her very light toned, and Jade was, obviously darker toned. So as you can see, size comparison next to Little Giz. So let's start setting this up. Alrighty, first let's get out the base. The base is definitely something I really liked on this statue because it represents from Mortal Kombat 2, which is, one of my more favorite older MKs. But it's basically the acid level. You used to knock people in this acid pit. So I got number 29 of 400. The base is nice and small, which is good because I am very limited on space. But overall, base looks really good. I love it. Let's get Jade out now. Pretty good sized peg. Alrighty, so she fit in there nice and perfect. Big peg, No worries of liens or anything like that. Here is sort of like her Chinese star or shuriken. I guess shuriken would be more accurate. This is not metal, it is resin, so very delicate. It looks really good though. I like the gold tone and whatnot. Looks good. Probably could use more metallic paint app, but I like the gold a lot, and overall it looks good. Pretty lightweight. And so this has a peg right here that's going to go right here. So you can peg that in like so. And it's actually quite a strong magnet. As you saw, it just snapped right in. Which is good because you want that to be a strong magnet. The hand also is a pretty good strong magnet. I like that PCS did tape this in. I feel like a lot of companies need to start taping stuff in the styrofoam to really prevent it from moving. You know, when I ship statues, I generally tape it. I find it just is much more secure when taped. Alrighty, so here is her staff, and it's already attached to the hand. On the 1/4 Jade, it was just like a metal staff that was like silver. Gizmo, stop! Fight! Fight! He's eating the styrofoam. Gizmo, get back here! You can't eat that. I know, cool. Alright, the boy's going on the couch. He just cries when he's not with his daddy. But yeah, the original 1/4, you inserted it in, and it was just like very basic, where this one has a very nice purple and gold design, and I like the patterns. So it looks really good. And I'm glad that they didn't make this one too wide. You know, where like Katana Melina are like this, so they're really wide pieces. All right, let's do the masked first, and we'll do the unmasked once we get it in the MK room. So here is the portrait. Now, they did put like little... Oh, of course the hand fell out. How the heck did that fall out? I put it in wrong? Yeah, there's little styrofoam pieces here in the ear. Pretty sure I have that in, but the magnet's not nearly as strong as the other hand. And I think I maybe had it slightly off. But I don't see any damage, so we're fine. She looks good. She looks real good. The only other thing to get is the unmasked portrait, which I do want to check out. And I'll show you guys real quickly how that looks. The unmasked has massive hair. Which hopefully this magnet will hold it. All right, check that out. Yeah, I like that. That's a beautiful portrait. The eyes are very well painted. That looks good. See that? Yeah, that unmasked is very beautiful. Alrighty. That is everything. Alrighty. So there is Jade. As you can see, quite a big piece, you know, especially like she towers over Ghostface. she's a big girl. I mean, the actual base is pretty decently sized like that. Looks like a solid 3-inch base. You know, like she's as high as... Yeah, she's a huge 1/3. My gosh, look at that. I mean, she should fit the other MK 1/3s, and they're all pretty big 1/3s. But she's a big girl. Granted, she is on a little 1-inch riser. But if you just look at the size of her, like... The scale of her and Leatherface and Ghostface are definitely, like... She is definitely about 15% overall bigger than those two. So she is quite big. Like, even next to, like, Big Chap, like, dang, she could take on Big Chap probably. You know, and he's a big 1/3. We need to get her off that rotator. Little Giz is starting to cry. Gizzy! We need to get him groomed. He can't even see right now. Let's check out that butt. Looks good. She definitely does her glutes. I am digging the eyes on this. I think looks really good. I think better than the other 1/3s. One thing PCS has not implemented yet is skin texture on their, like this one, like this. Leatherface does have skin texture. Like, look at that. You see that? I like that. You know, like showing that detail. Although, here's the thing. I wouldn't want her to have skin texture because all my other MKs don't. And I think PCS kind of knew that. They didn't want, you know, you going in and this one's like way more detailed in the skin than the other ones that would look off. Where this is going to match perfectly. So, yeah, overall, look at that. She is huge. The one thing I know collectors were kind of complaining about because it's not accurate to the game is there is a netting right here, which PCS said they had to do it due to licensing requirements. But apparently there is a way to, like, kind of remove that. I just wonder, like, let's say I got tweezers and started pulling on it. Would it look bad, or is it just barely in there? And if I started pulling, I could pull the whole thing off. Because ideally, I would love to pull that off, so I could more or less see the cleavage better. Because right now, it's pretty darkened in that area. But let's go ahead and put her next to the MK statues now. So you see a good size comparison here of Jade next to other 1/3s. She's a big girl for sure. And all of a sudden, Jade no longer feels a little overscaled. Yeah, she fits in perfectly, as you can see. Exact same base height and statue height as like Katana, and maybe a tad taller than Sub-Zero due to her bun in the hair. But minus the bun, same height. I think Katana is actually a tad taller due to her hair. But there is the 3 girls. So ideally, in a perfect world, I would do the 3 girls together, the 3 ninjas together. The problem is I have a bust on each end, and I need to have the 1/3 that associates with that bust. Hence, Sub-Zero is there instead of right there. But this still works because you got 2 girls and a boy, 2 boys and 1 girl. And of course, Goro as the centerpiece. So yeah, look at the size of her base. I would say her base is probably the smallest of all the bases. Maybe a tad tinier than this one. Just a tad. You know, where the boys have the bigger bases because they have like wider stances. Now, one thing PCS did is they did use the exact same body sculpt for all 3 girls and all 3 boys. The only difference is really the arms, the weapons, and obviously like the costumes. But it's the same general pose. Like they all have the foot, you know, forward, knee bent a little there, foot in the back, you know, like same leg position, and then come up, similar hips, you know, all have like same size boobs more or less. It's just the arms is where it's different. Now these two actually have the exact same arms going outward, that flaring out, where Jade is the going down. Which again, I'm happy they went that route, because if she was holding that pole outwards and that outwards with that giant shuriken, it would be a B to display. I mean, Katana and Melina are already very difficult to display because they're very wide. But fortunately, Jade fits perfectly, and Katana's not even like blocking her. So she actually does fit very well. The only thing I need to do is, unfortunately, PCS decided not to do the COA. Like, they did COA for every MK statue but her. So I'm going to have to, like, I already made one, but I'm going to print out a COA. I kind of like just made one using old COAs and photoshopping some photos and things. So we're going to do our own COA, literally just print it on my home printer. That way Jade can have her own. I just needed the edition number. But yeah, we're going to do that for sure. That's the one thing I feel like PCS still should have done. I liked the COAs they did. I always liked them. I'm not sure why they stopped. I'm not sure if it was a budget thing or it was just costing too much. But I definitely like it. So... But yeah, overall, I do like her base more than Katana and Melina. I think it looks better. Now, between Katana and Melina, I probably like Melina a little bit more. Plus, Melina's does light up. Katana's doesn't, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it does not. This one does not light up either. Although, I don't know if it necessarily would need a light up. I mean, it would be cool, I guess. But I don't really use any of the light ups anyways. But you got this whole acid theme, and then it does have like bubbles and a few black rocks. And then obviously there's the skull back there, rib cage bones. You know, and they got a few black rocks all throughout to really show that she was like standing in the pit. She probably just defeated her enemy. On the front is kind of looks like Scorpion. But again, I'm sure this was taken directly from the level. I would have to look at images. And then on the side, you kind of have like this whole thing. But overall, I think the base is really well done. Plus, it's a very small footprint. So the only thing this statue really takes up a lot of space is the height. You know, being 30 inches plus tall. It's a tall statue, not very wide, not very deep, but a fantastic base. Like I said, it's the best base among the girls. For the boys, I still like Scorpion the best. Sub-Zero is a very close second, but Scorpion for me still wins. All right, now let's check out actual Jade. So her costume does have a texture detail on the green, not the black. You know, Katana does not, but I don't think she needs it. She does have texture detail. And then these ones used mixed media, like on the sashes. Her chest thing is all mixed media. This is fully sculpted. So she is fully sculpted on everything but this sash. That is the mixed media. I mean, the texture looks good, no doubt. I like the green color quite a bit. I think it's a better green than the 1/4 Jade I used to own. You know, of course, she is wearing the high heels. It's a pretty simple design. Not a ton to see, honestly, on the pants. You know, it's probably like my least favorite of the three girls when it comes to the legs. You know, like it still looks good, but I think Katana and Melina have better looking legs. The nice thing about her is she doesn't have a sash covering this area, so you can see that, which is nice because those two do, so I like that. You know, being able to see like her hips and lower half better. You come out, now this is the classic, so it is a more generic costume versus like the MK9, MK10. I kind of wish they did go with the MK9 costume because that one is very detailed. But, you know, this is all, you know, just plain black, no texture, no shading, nothing. It's just black. The green is where you get that nice texture. This black thing right here is different. It almost looks more like a leather. Again, same with these straps. And then there is the little like tie, like she tied it up. And then she has the two wrist things, and then the blades, of course. I think the weapons are fantastic. I really like them. The fact that they're two separate weapons, not the same. Or like these two, I mean, you get, I guess, one bloody, non-bloody. I've stuck with bloody since day one. But, you know, it's like two fans, two size. This one, you get two different weapons, which I do like. You know, they could have had her holding just this. But the fact they included this giant shuriken, which again, like I said, it looks really good. It could have, I wish it was metal. I think that would have been better. Maybe due to weight, they decided to go with a thin resin. But it is quite big and it does look good. This is also not metal from what I can tell. And the magnet is not as strong in this as it was there, or the head. As you saw, it fell out. Although I believe I did put it in, angled a little bit more that way. So guess it's my fault, but it didn't feel like there was a strong magnet in it. So let's check out this portrait. I'm going to remove it. Yeah, as you can see, that's a pretty strong, All right, so check that out. Now, one thing I don't get is, how is the mask even staying on? Like, I feel like it should attach to the ears. Like Katana, as you see, it like attaches to the ears. And I believe same with Melina. Yeah, hers is hard to see. But yeah, she does have the 2 black earrings. That looks like a little QC issue there. Not a big deal, though. Again, the eyes are painted very well. Eyebrows look good. Facial expression. The hairline looks good. Now, there is a comparison. Like I said, the eyes definitely look a little bit better painted than like Katana. Melina has more like reptilian eyes, but I still think her eyes are painted better. And then we can look at Sub-Zero. His eyes are painted exceptionally well. They are hard to see, because of the shape of it. Now, underneath the mask, you can obviously see the nose and a little bit of the mouth. The ears look very well done. The hair, I would say it could probably be a little bit better. It doesn't have as much, like fine lines as like some of my like prime ones, like my Prime 1 Khaleesi, for example. But again, I want to do the unmasked for her, and which we have right over here. So let's assemble that and see how that looks. Alrighty, so I attached the hair and it actually does go in pretty strong. So I don't really have a worry, but look how long that is. Like, holy crap, has she never cut her hair in her life? But as you can see, this just has more detail. Even the hair, like look at the strands on this. It looks more detailed. And that face is just beautiful. That is a cute face. And then even right there, you can see the hair. Need to dust it. It looks a little dusty, but I like that portrait. That is beautiful. I don't know if this is like game accurate, because I know their newest Katana does not look like a Katana from the game. It just looks like a really cute girl. I would have to Google some images of Jade, but like I said, this is a very pretty face. Let's see it now on the statue. Alrighty, so here it is on the statue. So, obviously there's a lot in the back that you can't see, but you can see the hair coming off to the side. And again, that portrait is absolutely beautiful. So for me personally, I like this look a lot. Don't get me wrong, I like the ninja look, but I feel like this head is far more detailed. The hair, the only thing this has that doesn't, outside of obviously the sash, but that's actually hiding mouth and nose detail, is the earrings. That one does not have earrings as far as I can tell, but let me get a good look at this ear. Yeah, there is no earrings. So that's like kind of the only thing you're really missing. And I guess if you want that ninja look, but look at the lips. They look beautiful. They're big. The nose looks good. The eyes are equally painted as well, but the hair just looks far better in my opinion. I love this long, gorgeous hair. The original Psycho Jade I had, which was MK9 costume, had a similar hairstyle. It was like very long and beautiful, and I liked that. So, yeah, I'm going to be sticking with that look, I feel. With Scorpion and Reptile, I have honestly kept their heads like that for almost since day one. I rarely display Scorpion with his masked head. I really do like the Scorpion masked head. I think it's amazing, but I love the skull look. It looks so cool. And then Reptile, that reptilian head is pretty much there forever. Melina is one I do change a little more often. Now, I was not the biggest fan of the Katana unmasked portrait. I didn't think it was as cute, and it didn't look as good. You know, where the new Katana, the face is gorgeous. So I'm like, yeah, that face I would definitely display. And I feel like Jade is definitely a gorgeous looking face, very attractive, more detail, and it just looks better in my opinion for the overall statue. But I will probably regularly change it out because I still think this looks really good. And it does resemble Jade just slightly more. Because I just don't remember this face being Jade, to be honest. Where obviously this represents Jade perfectly. But there it is, folks. That is kind of the overall final look I'm going to be going for the MK collection. You know, the only thing I may consider in the future is going to likely be custom statues. You know, the same one that made that Motaro did tell me they're making Kung Lao, like MK2 or MK3. Now, if we get a Kung Lao, I will buy that, because Kung Lao is one of my favorite characters. Now, I would remove Baraka. I don't know if I could fit him somewhere else. I do want Baraka, but I would prefer a Kung Lao there with Raiden and Liu Kang. I feel like those are like the trinity of the good guys for me. So, you know, you have the trinity good guys, you have the 4 bosses, then you have obviously the ninjas. But I definitely want that Kung Lao. I also would love a Shang Tsung. He's the other character, you know, I really would love to get. Because he's obviously one of the main bosses. But yeah, overall, I'm very happy with Jade. I think she looks amazing. Is she substantially better than Katana or Melina? The only area I could honestly see better detail is going to have to be the eyes. That is it. And I think that hair is the best hair of all 3. Like detail-wise, it has the most fine, you know, like individual strands. You know, like that hair, in my opinion, looks better than Katana's, which, as you see, is more like globbed together, not as many fine details. Melina's looks pretty good, but I still think Jade has the best strands and texture and the best eyes. That is the only thing. Plus, I like the base the best. Not that the base is way more detailed per se. I just like the design and look of it better. But overall, I mean, here's the thing as well. She retailed at $12.50 plus ship plus tax. You're looking at, if you were to go through Sideshow, $1,400. To put in perspective, I mean, granted, inflation and a lot of years have passed. Melina and Katana I got for like $700. So double the cost. I'm talking 700 shipped all in is what I paid for like Melina Katana. So it is literally double the cost. Now, I can't remember when I got Melina Katana, but I think it was honestly probably 3 or 4 years ago. So how crazy is it that 4 years later, a statue's double the cost? Realistically, I feel like this statue should be like $850, $900. I feel like $900 would have been a great price for her, similar to like Vampirella, which was $900. That would have been a much more appropriate cost. But I think the reason it is more expensive is possibly due to licensing. You know, I think that was a big factor, because I think MK is a higher licensing cost than Vampirella. You know, where nowadays it seems like most of the PCS 1/3s are honestly more like $1,400 plus shipping tax. You know, look at like Blade. Granted, Blade is probably one of their best 1/3s they've ever done. Anyways, folks, that is it for today's video. Let me know what you think in the comments below of Jade. Now, she is sold out, waitlisted. I think Secret Compass might have one more. Otherwise, jump on that wait list. You could use the links below to, you know, help my channel. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one, which should be actually the Raptor 1.6. You know, and then Alien Warrior and other good ones. Anyways, folks, that is it. Like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Have a great day.